Let's imagine a scenario, because it could be that you just backed into a relationship and you got stuck, and you weren't conscious and she wasn't conscious, and now you're realizing it and you want to become conscious, and now I got to deal with it. But let's throw that aside, and let's say that you were both consciously creating a relationship. You're both in love. You're both excited together. And let's say the scenario that something happens, or something happens in her spirit and she loses her spirit and she just gives up and, starts eating. You know what I mean? Right. And just doesn't have any life force anymore. And you still do what you should never do. And guys want to do this all the time because they've taken life coaching themselves. They've taken therapy. They've done weekend intensive. They've done all this kind of stuff, and they have some knowledge. They try to coach their woman. They try to say, I have something that can coach her. I'll coach her. And that's not invited. That's not welcome. That's not a good thing at all. You should never, ever, without invitation, coach your woman because you learned a few things at the last silent retreat you went to. You can't do that. Can't coach her to. And guys say, well, I go to the gym all the time and she's not going to the gym. She's getting out of shape. And they want to drag her into that and coach her I'll be her coach and take her to the gym and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that the practical application, she loses her lust for life and you feel you're not proud of her anymore and she's not contributing to society and to your relationship, etc. You still want that. You have to, with love and curiosity and kindness and smile and benevolence, take her by the hand and sit her down and say, my sweetie. And maybe it takes weeks, maybe it takes months to have this conversation, but you've got to check in with her and try, and maybe you can't. Maybe she just, I don't have time for this conversation. My show is on. Maybe she just doesn't exist, but you must do your attempt to find out what is going on with her, not to save her, but to try and reconnect with someone that there was a love that, is a strong thing. And if you recognize at some point that it's not going to change, or she's reluctant, or she's intransigent, or she just doesn't care, apathetic, cut bait. You've got to keep medicine for yourself. You can give medicine to people, but if you don't keep some for yourself, you die. You're going to die. So cut bait. You've got to leave. You got to break it up. Say, you know what? I adore everything we tried to create together, and I'm gone. Now she'll turn into either a weeping mess or a needy whatever, or promises to change and straighten up, and I'll go to the gym with you, whatever. But you've got to take care of your own internal health and emotional status. So no, you can't be unequally yoked. If you're not proud of her and she's not proud of you, you got to bail.
So if she promises to change or join you in the gym, are you saying give her that chance, or are you saying actually no, that's reactive and
No, I don't know. Because she could be real. Maybe it's a wake up call to her. You got to have grace. You have to have grace in your heart, but don't linger and put up with bullshit. That she promises to change and she doesn't. So, and then 6 months later she promises again, I'm sorry, you've just been going through a lot and I'll change. Don't put up with it. You've got to, at some point, you've got to say, okay, I did a good college try here. I did everything I could. It's time. And take the lumps, man. Take the pain and recognize.
Do you believe that two partners in a relationship have to be equal in terms of the speed and the commitment to their own evolution?
There never will be, but because there could be moments when. So let me be clear. If your wife, for instance, or your girlfriend goes through a period of doldrums, which happens, right? Like emotional things happen, something sad happens in her family, and she's energetically, or moody. You don't throw it out because, hey, I listened to Zan, he said if it's not nurturing me anymore, I toss it out. You got to have grace, and you've got to have, you've got to investigate and try and coax and try and have empathy and try and hold hands and and put your arms around her and say, I don't know how to solve your problem, but I feel for you and I'm holding you. That's all I know. You got to, this is someone you love, you've got to have that grace. So, and it could be a change of heart she's seeking. And you, not as a coach, well, I learned these, 3 habits, and if she does these 3 habits, and here's some affirmations that I use for myself that I could give to you. That's unwelcome. She's going to resent it.